everybody, I am Danny Otto. Welcome into Poppin Off. Joining with me tonight, it's producer Paul.
What is going on, population? I am so excited to be here for the next edition of the community-driven Poppin Off Show.
That is right. We had so many awesome people and bits from our first episode. This one is exactly the same. We have some people that are continuing the journey of the episodes with us, so you'll see some familiar faces. We also have some brand new people in this episode that I can't wait for everybody to check out.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You and I have something cool regarding the MCU that we got to film and finally get to show people. I got to bring in some people that I'm really fans of for this episode. But you there out in the population, if you see what we're doing on this show and you are interested and you have something you want to say, hit us up because we want this to be a community-driven show. We are really excited with the people we've already got to bring in. We are really excited for the people still to come, the people you're going to see on this episode. There's a lot of really cool content coming. So without further ado, I think we should jump right in.
Enjoy, everybody!
Time.
Hello, population. This is Poppin Off. My name is Josh, the host of the Still Loading podcast. And today I want to talk to you about video game competitions. Esports now is a huge thing, and it's one of the largest industries in the world. But video game competitions have been a thing for quite some time. And I wanted to tell the story of one of my favorite competitions. That's called Swordquest. Swordquest was a video game series that was developed by Atari in the early 80s. We see in the early 80s, Atari was at the height of its power. The Atari 2600 was the most popular console in the world. And what Atari did was they hosted a competition based around these Swordquest games. And there was 4 games in the series in total: Earthworld, Fireworld, Waterworld, and Airworld. The way it would work is that when you would buy the game, it would come with a cartridge and a comic book. And these comic books that came with it were not done by just no-names. They were done by pretty famous people within DC Comics. That's who published them. It was done by Gerry Conway and Roy Thomas. Those were the writers. Gerry Conway famously wrote The Punisher, or created The Punisher. And the artists for these comics were George Perez and Dick Giordano. And the way it would work is that you'd play through the game, and you would find random screens that would have 2 numbers on it. And those referenced a page number and a panel number. So what players would do is they would go back to those comic books, find that page, find that panel number, and in that panel, there's a hidden word. And what you would do is you would play through the whole game, find all the hidden words, unjumble the message because it was going to form a sentence, and you would send that into Atari. And if they got it right, they were invited for one final competition to play through one final version of the game. The player who beat that version the fastest won a grand prize. And there was going to be 4 grand prizes total, 1 for each of the games in the Swordquest series. The winner of Earthworld was going to win a Talisman of Penultimate Truth, which was an 18-karat solid gold disc studded with 12 diamonds and birthstones of the 12 zodiac signs, along with a miniature white golden sword. The winner of Fireworld would win the Chalice of Light, which was a goblet made of platinum and gold studded with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, pearls, and green jade. The winner of Waterworld would win the Crown of Life, a solid gold crown decorated with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and aquamarines. And the winner of Airworld would win the Philosopher Stone, a large piece of white jade in an 18-karat gold box encrusted with emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. The value of each of these prizes were $25,000. But remember, this is back in 1982. Adjust that for inflation, and it's a very nice $69,000. Once all 4 winners were decided, they would meet together for one final prize. They'd play one final version of the game, and the winner of those 4 would win the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery, which was a silver blade with an 18-karat gold handle covered in diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies, and it was valued at $50,000. And once again, that's in 1982. Adjusted for inflation today, you're looking at $138,000. And even with all that loot on the table, sadly, this competition never got to be completed. You see, a year later in 1983, the video game market crashed, and Atari was hit probably the hardest of all. In fact, not even all the games got released. Earthworld and Fireworld got commercial releases. However, Waterworld you could only obtain by a mail-in order from Atari's official magazine, and Airworld never saw the light of day. And to date, no one really knows what happened to the last 3 prizes. Some people speculate that Jack Tramiel owns it. Jack Tramiel was the man who bought Atari in 1984, but nothing has ever been confirmed. The winner of Earthworld was Stephen Bell. Sadly, the Talisman, the prize for that, was smelted down and sold, but the gems that were in it still remain. The winner of Fireworld is Michael Rideout. He still has the chalice, and it's locked away in a safety deposit box. The winner of Waterworld was apparently crowned, no pun intended, and the crown was supposedly given out, but the name is anonymous, so no one really knows the whereabouts of it. All right, population, that's all the time I have for you today. Thank you for hanging out. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you get updates whenever there is a new video that's gone live. Once again, my name is Josh, and thank you for watching Poppin' Off. If you would like to see more of my stuff, you can check out the Still Loading podcast wherever good podcasts are found. And that should do it for me. I will see you all next time.
This had a very high bar to reach. Now, I want to be fair to the movie, so I reached out to a friend of mine who really liked it. Spoiler, I didn't. Please welcome my friend, Ashley Stone.
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Have you ever read a comic book? What part of it was bad? Maybe we can walk through it together.
The writing in the movie it's really, really bad.
One of the things that I love about Patty Jenkins's Wonder Woman is that she really does not hold back on being genuine and not afraid to have those moments that are straight out of a comic book. Like, it's just, mwah. I love it. The montage at the beginning, kicking the hot rod out of the way with her boot, saving the bride from falling off the bridge. I think a lot of people were like turned off by that. That's part of the superhero genre. It was reminiscent of like the early 2000s Sammy Raimi superhero kind of thing. And I think people have forgotten about that like fun campiness, especially you. You apparently forgot to.
The plot holes are everywhere.
Not everything has to be 10 out of 10 to enjoy it. The Dark Knight is like one of the top movies of all time, and it has a lot of plot holes. If I can sit through any Captain America line, any of Black Widow's thigh takedowns, you can do.
Can we be done with CGI cats for a while?
It's not their fault that cats came out at the same time. My whole thing with Cheetah is that I am just glad that they ignored all of the possible routes they could have done with that character. Historically, Cheetah, I think she's like one of the worst Wonder Woman villains of all time. Basically, my bar was very low. The thing that I loved about Minerva's transformation is that she loved it. And then you slowly see she's getting like desensitized to it and kind of over it as it goes.
If you were going to give Wonder Woman 1984 a grade.
7.5 out of 10. It was 75% there. Thank you so much for listening to my completely biased defense of Wonder Woman 1984. And if you still don't like it, that's okay. Maybe don't talk about it though, Paul.
Yo, real quick, I respect real people when they do real things. Puff shooting his shot at JLo early.
Ooh, you see that shit Diddy be doing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Where'd that come from all of a sudden?
I was looking at all the comments, and it was mixy though, because I mean, I didn't think anything of it. Like, everybody's making it into some big
Oh, you ain't think nothing of it? You didn't think he was shooting his shot?
Even if he is, I ain't mad at him.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either, but I mean, it could be seen in both ways. Like, he was just, I don't know, he could either, I don't know, some people were trying to say that he was trying to be funny or take jabs or something.
He ain't no comedian.
Hey, that's being funny.
He ain't being funny. I ain't see shit funny about it.
Ain't nothing funny with that picture.
Nigga ain't never did comedy.
Not at all.
I
That
thought
shit
it was
funny.
playful. But what about, who was she with? I mean, who was she seen with a lot of?
Ben Affleck?
Yeah, but see, I thought they were, together, but apparently they're not, and she's just single. So when Diddy did post that nice,
Why you said single and smile?
Oh, yeah, you said single.
I love
You
JLo.
didn't say single. You said single. I heard what you said. All right.
She know Ben Affleck sniffing JLo butt. She know it.
Why I gotta be sniffing and shit?
Because that's what you do before you eat it.
That's the order of events. That's like.
When you eat your food, you like the aroma. I smell my shit when it's in the
Aroma.
kitchen.
Oh my God, the aroma.
Right?
No. Actually.
All I'm saying is, if he's shooting a shot, that's an excellent way to do it. Just put, because now he don't got to say nothing. Everybody else is saying it for him. That's it.
That's
a better move.
Did he take it down?
I wouldn't have. I hope he didn't. Puff. Yo, Puff.
If he took it down.
Don't take that. If you took it down, put it back up.
Leave it right.
I'm right in the camera with it. Puff, put it back up.
I don't even know what his caption was, but it don't matter.
Picture.
I know what he doing though. He trying to bring that nostalgia back. Oh, remember this? We was creeping through Rodeo.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So what, to reel her in or something?
Yeah. Oh, I remember when we had fun that day, right? We had the mashed potatoes.
The mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Get the nostalgia.
It's a veteran move.
I love JLo.
Is start the debate.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's still up.
Look how cute it is. It's cute.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that was before all the shooting took place.
There we go.
Before Havoc broke out. You know what I mean? I respect it. But I just hope Puff followed that up with a thinking about you. You know what I mean? Little text.
That's doing too much.
No, what? Too much. That's what they want to hear.
That's what you want. But
you throw the pick out, thinking about you, ... They can't resist the ...
Caption? You have it up, right?
This is why I think Welly's single.
No,
I'm not. I'm in these
single. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not in these streets.
What's the caption on
I'm not in these streets. Where you at?
What's the caption on the picture?
TBT.
That's it. That's all he had to do.
Something light. And then you just follow it with the little tag.
You can post a throwback.
To on the surface.
I mean,
a throwback.
if she was married, well, no.
No.
If she was still with, if she was still with.
If she was still with A-Ron?
And then he posted it, it would seem more like a jab and being funny.
That ain't nothing funny.
All right, maybe he is trying to shoot a shot, but I don't know. It's playful. Like he. Okay, I feel like.
Oh no, he's shooting that shot. He's shooting that shot.
The shot has been shot.
Maybe he's just throwing it out there, but then if it doesn't happen, it's okay, type of shit. Because they have history and they're cool. I don't know.
Failure's not an option.
Talking like remember the Titans out here.
You know what I think he should do?
Remember the Titans ass.
You know what I think Puff should do?
What?
Throw another fucking pick out there. Puff, throw another one out there. Fuck.
Multiple post ass nigga. Okay.
In a picture.
Say it again?
In a picture. I would like to see them two in a picture right now.
Yeah.
Another one.
Man.
They look so cute.
All I'm saying is he already got the ball rolling. He don't got
That's right.
Else. He just inbounded the ball. That's it.
Let's play.
Now everybody else is gonna take over.
Let's play.
That's it.
Personally about him, I just don't like.
I just hope he followed up with a text. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Something light, not too much.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe she wrote him saying, "Oh, that was cute."
Right, we don't know. Maybe,
I love her.
Maybe he sent her a text saying "Carbone?" ?
Just like that.
Nah, y'all don't fuck with Carbone.
No, what the fuck is Carbone?
All right, that's what's up.
But it all came to a sudden and dramatic end as Cindy the dolphin sadly died within months.
Oh yeah, shit, we're back.
Oh no.
We're back. Hopefully everybody out there has been enjoying the show so far. Paul was just reading me an interesting story, I guess, about love and loss. And Paul, do you want to recap what you were just telling me?
Yeah, this was more of an off-screen story that we were talking about. A millionaire woman who married a dolphin. Sadly, her dolphin husband passed away. How the other half lives, But it does actually lead in pretty nicely as a segue for us to talk about a very interesting show that I think a lot of people are probably, whether or not they admit it, going to be checking out on Netflix in the next coming months. Why don't we take a peek here?
I want to get married. I want to have babies before I'm like 26. Do you have health insurance?
Could you fall in love with someone based on personality alone?
What is your ideal woman?
Personality, for me, is everything.
Okay. That was unique, I guess.
Remember when the first season of The Real World came out in the 90s and everybody was like, whoa, this is crazy.
I thought it was like, this is never going to happen. This is not going to happen. They can't do this to 7 people.
Come on, Paul. Don't you want to like have a date with that ends in like some nice petting?
I'm not touching that. You know what? Why don't we send the people back to their show? Please enjoy more Poppin' Off.
What's up, population? This is Ryan Stone here. Welcome to the segment where I nitpick historical media when it's wrong, and it's wrong a lot. We like to call it, That's Not How It Would Have Happened. So today, I want to talk a little bit about a scene from a movie that's near and dear to my heart, Fury. I like Fury. I'd call it a fun romp if it wasn't so relentlessly depressing. However, there is a scene from this movie that really grinds my goats, and it goes a little something like this. That's not how that would have happened. I know a lot of people like this scene. It's a great, well-choreographed scene, but there's a lot wrong with it, and I only have 2 minutes, so let's get right into it. Right off the bat, the German tank crews were always trained to destroy the first tank in the column, then the last tank in the column, trapping the rest of the tanks and making them easy targets. So Brad Pitt should have died first. But let's say the German tank commander has been having a bad day. Your 1,000-year Reich is collapsing around you. You've been awake for 3 days on government-issued meth bars. Your tank is on its 4th transmission in as many weeks, and to top it off, Hans is being a real cranky boy today. So you mistakenly believe the convoy is heading south, not north. You'd still fire on Brad Pitt. That's because, even though you think the column is heading in the wrong direction, Brad Pitt's tank should be target numero uno. Allow me to explain. I want you to look at this picture. How are these tanks different? If you said, Brad Pitt's tank has a little thingy on it, you'd be 100% correct. That thingy is called a muzzle brake, and it's on Brad Pitt's tank because Brad Pitt's tank isn't a regular M4 Sherman, it's an M4A3E8, otherwise known as the Easy 8. Besides just having a baller name and not being the tank Sergeant Don War Daddy Collier drove, yeah, Brad Pitt's character was based on a real guy. The Easy 8 was notable for being able to go toe-to-toe with the nastiest tanks Germany had to offer, including the titular Tiger from this scene, which, fun fact, is an actual working Tiger. The last working Tiger, in fact, and it belongs to the Tank Museum in Bovington, England, along with the Fury that Brad Pitt drove. Because of the danger the Easy 8 represented, German tank crews almost always prioritized it over other tank types, meaning the pitster should have been doubly dead, leading the column in the most dangerous tank on the road. But let's just say they couldn't bring themselves to kill such a beautiful man. That's fair enough. I definitely would have a tough time doing it. Well, we still have issues. Namely, there's no reason Brad Pitt needed to have this weird, slow-dancing knife fight with a Tiger tank. The reason the Easy 8 was so feared was that it could cut through a Tiger tank like butter. Meaning at this part, wouldn't have been about a quarter of the way through a 9-minute scene, but in fact, the end of the scene. So that's how it would have happened. Oh, I suppose I should mention. Look, can we all agree that holding up 4 2x4s would not stop an armored piercing ballistic cap high explosive tank round? Okay, cool. I thought so. We don't need to talk about it then. Join us next time where I complain about the lack of advertising in Gladiator. I mean, seriously, not a single soap ad. Whole thing. I watched it.
Poppin Off presents Fantasy versus Reality.
Hey everybody, I am Danny Otto. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy vs. Reality. On this episode, we are talking about Val. Oh, wait, 1 second. We're not supposed to say Val. We're supposed to say
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
To help me break down everything about this theory is producer Paul.
What's going on, Danny? I am in California. It is really hot inside, but I'm wearing a sweatshirt because the Chicago Bears have a quarterback, Justin Fields. This is a sports talk show, right? Like that's why I'm on to talk about today. Oh wait, no. You said Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Actually, it's Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. I know it's hard.
So this week's statement that we're gonna throw out is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is building a new secret team. Is it okay if I go first this week? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, everything is good in my life because the Chicago Bears have a quarterback, Justin Fields. So you can go ahead and go first. I'm stress-free right now.
All right, I'll take it away. I'll go first. I think that this is reality. I think most people would agree with me that this is reality because she already kind of at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier was recruiting U.S. agent for something. We don't know exactly yet. I have a theory about 2 possible teams that she could be technically starting the process to build. My first is Thunderbolts. And I'll go really quick with this one because this one I think is a little less likely. But Thunderbolts, we know that originally we were supposed to get our introduction with Val. Yes, I'm going to say Val just because it's shorter. We were supposed to get our introduction with Val in the Black Widow movie. who else is going to be in the Black Widow movie? None other than General Ross, who will be building the Thunderbolts in that movie. So we were technically supposed to be getting her appearance in Falcon Winter Soldier after this. So she could have been recruiting for more members of the Thunderbolts. But, like I said, I don't know if that one is as likely as my second option. My second option is the West Coast Avengers. We know that this team is going to happen sooner or later. And the longer that we go in the MCU, the more phases that we get, just including Phase 4 and the potentials in Phase 5, we're filling out that roster, that comic book roster, I should say, of the West Coast Avengers. We know Hawkeye has a big part in it. U.S. Agent is in it. We know Moon Knight is over there in it. We know Hank Pym has involvement in the West Coast Avengers, which means Ant-Man and Wasp. We know Rhodey has an involvement in it. And we know Rhodey's going to be in the Armor Wars series coming out. So there are so much potential and so much potential roster from the comic books already, leading us to believe that we're going to be getting a West Coast Avengers sooner or later. So my pick is that she is slowly starting to build the West Coast Avengers, and she may even be a Fury-like role in that process, in that getting the team all together. Paul, what do you think? Is this fantasy or reality?
I am going to go ahead and say that I also think that this is probably a reality. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, very easy to say, is probably recruiting for the Thunderbolts, is what we might guess based on the fact that Black Widow takes place after Civil War, but before Infinity War. So going back, this means that this is something that's been in motion if the setup is supposed to take place in Black Widow between General Ross and her. Like, we know that from there, it's probably building to a point. Now, will she be a Nick Fury type person? I don't see her being that positive. I think they picked the actress who was the terrible politician on Veep, the terribly entertaining politician on Veep for years. I think they picked her for a reason, and it's to imply that, you know, this is not a super up and up organization. Also, their first recruit that we're aware of within the MCU is a not super stable John Walker. And we don't exactly know what her specific plan with him yet is. Now, I don't know that we're going to get the complete roster of the West Coast Avengers or the Secret Avengers as we get them in the comics, but all these characters are kind of in play. You went through the list, but it's very exciting to kind of think, okay, when's this next team up going to happen after we have a little break here of Avengers stuff, and how are they going to use all these Disney Plus shows to widen the overall scope of the Marvel Universe? So it's really exciting to see where we're going from here.
I like it. So we're on the same trip, I guess we should say. We're the way that we're getting to the destination are different. We're taking different suggested routes. If we were using like Google Maps or Waze or something like that, we'd be taking different routes, but we're still getting to kind of the same destination.
You're on PCH, I'm on shrooms.
I was talking about a regular driving trip. You did it somewhere completely different. Anyway, I like it. I'm excited either way. I do like this idea of having these slow builds because I think it makes sense now that they have this ability to have series kind of supplement movies, not having to worry about taking big chunks out of movies to do all of these small little things that could be happening to build up to bigger stuff.
Hi, I'm Ben.
I'm Fraser.
Fraser like razor.
And we are from the podcast You're Welcome America, where we translate British pop culture for America.
And American pop culture for Britain.
You're welcome.
I'm up first with our American topic, which is Kraft mac and cheese. Nice. Here's what I'm thinking. Kraft mac and cheese, super popular here in America. People love it. Apparently, actually, during COVID, sales went through the roof, babes. People were having it for breakfast.
Oh, breakfast.
I know. Can you believe it? I don't know. Just, straight from the box. Who knows? So, people love it. Now, when I've had it in the past, what's interesting to me is it doesn't taste like either macaroni and it doesn't taste like cheese. It's kind of its own world of taste. What do you think?
It's very America culture, right? It's like, that is American culture. Did you have it in the UK growing up?
Not growing up, but when I lived in London, I lived with an American and she was like so excited. She got it like shipped over specially. We're waiting weeks for it and it came over and then she made it and I was eating it and I was like, this doesn't taste like cheese or pasta. So I was trying to work out the UK equivalent of Kraft mac and cheese. Initially I thought pot noodles because that's just adding water. There's a whole kind of powdered element, but they're not prestigious enough. They're not kind of like in the zeitgeist enough. So I've landed on Heinz baked beans.
Beans. Glorious beans.
What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. It couldn't be more classic British. And I bet sales went through the roof of that during the pandemic.
Oh, I bet you did. Just come in a tin, just open it, you eat it. You could have it at breakfast, you could have it at lunch, you could have it in the middle of the night if you wanted, hungover. You might be hungover in the middle of the night. So I think the UK equivalent of Kraft mac and cheese is Heinz baked beans.
You're welcome.
Okay, babes, you're up next with our UK topic. What have you got for us?
Well, before the Marvel Avengers Assemble, before the Justice League, before Suicide Squad, there was a group of pop culture figures that got together for a movie called Spice World, the movie. What I will say is that the one thing I'm going to say about Spice World, the movie, is everyone, you know, especially stroke people, they like to poo-poo it as a piece of nothing. But what it does do is display the comedic acting chops of one Miss Victoria Adams, or nay Adams, now Beckham, who is a standout comedian.
Okay.
Level, she's got shades, light and
I'm just Vicky B, she really has some real iconic moments in that movie. Number one, she drives a bus in heels and she shouts out, "Hold on to your knickers, girl!" And there's a bomb. There's a bomb in that bus. So, you know, just driving in heels on a Sunday.
This is really just a PSA to recommend any Americans that haven't seen Spice World, the movie, to find it. It's not really on a lot of streaming services. Quite hard to find. So good luck with that. I think the US equivalent of Spice World, the movie, is From Justin to Kelly, starring Kelly Clarkson and Justin, whatever his name was, from American Idol. Felt like exactly the same idea, but maybe not as successful as Spice World. What do you think?
And they're both probably as easy, and by that I mean as hard to find as each other in terms of whether we're on a VHS, a laser disc. I don't know what platform these cinematic classics are going to be. Criterion Channel? Is that Turner Classic? Is that where I'm going?
That's correct. Okay, so everyone turn to your Turner Classic Movies, and yeah, I think that the US equivalent of Spice World, the movie, is From Justin to Kelly. You're welcome.
If you like that, please go listen to our podcast, You're Welcome America, where you'll get answers to such questions as...
How are there so many insane accents on one tiny island of Great Britain?
Why is Fraser's name Fraser and not Frasier?
And who is the UK equivalent of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark? I don't know.
Find out in You're Welcome America. You're welcome.
You definitely can't say that. We're back! Hope everybody's been enjoying the show. Thank you so much for checking out all of the videos and all of the people that contributed to this episode. Once again, we just want to remind you, if you have an idea for the show, please let us know. Reach out to us by email. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, anything you can do to reach out to us. We want you to be a part of the show also. I think there's only one thing we have left before we get out of here. Paul, you ready?
Let's jump right in.
Product of the night.
It's the kind of beat that go.
Do you not want to have kids and want to low-key like find ways to do it? Has leaving your laptop burning on your crotch not done enough?
Would you like to feel that burning from your laptop all the way around?
Nothing makes you feel more invigorated and refreshed than a steaming sauna. But who has the time to spend in a spa? Plus, the sauna experience can be expensive. Not anymore! Introducing the revolutionary sauna pants.
This is a real product where you wrap these sauna pants around your legs. You can turn up the heat just on the dial that's sit there right on your pants, and it's a very interesting way to remove toxins from your masculinity. So I guess...
Have you ever wanted a sauna, but only in like your crotch section? I don't even know like what taglines could totally work for this.
If you have a good tagline, let us know in the comments, because we can't think of one but we know that they're out there.
We'll bring it up next halftime. Whoever has the best tagline for this particular product, we'll bring it up next halftime, and we'll give you naming credits for it. All right, so that's our show. Thank you so much for checking it all out. Don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on notifications to hear about all of our latest video releases. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. We'll see you back here for episode 3. Thank you so much. Bye!